Hello, I'm Baroness Camilla de la Reynarde, and this is the introduction to my tatting video. Many years ago, Dame Elise Catherine of the Middle Kingdom asked me to teach tatting at Penzic, and she never really told me to stop, so I've been teaching it for a very long time. Now, I've been fortunate enough to speak to the author of Lace a History, which was published in 1983. The author's name is Santina Levy. That's Santina-Levey, and ask her if tatting was period. The short, brutal answer is no. The way the knot is formed is probably period. The way that it is used in tatting isn't. But I have had so many people over the years tell me that no one teaches tatting in their home area that I've continued to do it. So, this is the intro to my tatting class. In case I have difficulties uploading my handout, which is a very real possibility, the email address is erickbob2@att.net. Email me if I am unable to upload my handout. So enjoy the tatting video. Remember, if you can't find tatting supplies in your home area, check online at your preferred online supplier. Tatting shuttles range in size from the basic small ones to the large tatsies, which I have used in the video with sugar and cream yarn. For variegation, it shows the knot flipping easier. Some people find it easier to understand that way. Enjoy! Okay, this is Tatting 101. I am making a loop of sugar and cream yarn around my hand. The white yarn is the ring thread. The red thread coming from here is the shuttle thread. This thread is the discard, think of it that way. I'm going to show you the first half of the knot. Once you learn how to make this knot flip, you will know how to tat. Remember, all motions are exaggerated for teaching purposes. Drape the shuttle thread, the red thread, around your hand, around your knuckles. Put the shuttle under the white ring thread through the loop formed by the red shuttle thread. As you can see, the white ring thread is now carrying the knot. This has to flip. The shuttle thread always has to carry the knot. Notice how slack the ring thread is on my left hand. As I slide the knot into position, my hands are parallel. My right hand is not behind my left hand. As it comes into position, the knot is twisting, twisting, twisting. It's flipped. The white ring thread is now around the red shuttle thread. This means the shuttle thread can move. I slide the knot into position and I pinch it lightly. Now I'm ready for my second half. I drape the red shuttle thread around the heel of my hand. Remember, all motions are exaggerated for teaching purposes. You will develop your own habits and systems. The shuttle thread goes from knuckle to fingertip, under the loop formed by the ring thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread. The white ring thread is carrying the knot. The red shuttle thread has to carry the knot. It has to change position. Notice there's no tension on the ring thread because I have brought the fingers together on my left hand. I am pulling the red shuttle thread to the right. There is no tension on the ring thread. Remember, bring the fingers together on the left hand first, then pull the shuttle thread. There's no tension. The knot is twisting, 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 and there it goes. The white ring thread has now formed a loop around the red shuttle thread. I extend my pinky to take the slack out of the white ring thread as it slides into place. I have now completed one stitch, and I know that I have completed one stitch because it has two legs and a bar across the top like the Greek letter pi. This is all you have to know how to tat. Anything else from here is just repetition. Let's do it again. First half, drape the red ring thread around your knuckles. Put the shuttle under the white ring thread, and it's going from fingertip to knuckle. Remember, the first half is fingertip to knuckle, the second half is knuckle to fingertip. The shuttle is going under the ring thread through the loop formed by the shuttle thread. The white ring thread is carrying the knot. The red shuttle thread has to carry the knot. There's no tension on the ring thread. I am pulling the shuttle thread parallel to the ring thread. There's no tension. It's twisting, it's twisting, it's twisting. There it goes. Remember, it has to change position every half of every knot, every time, in order for it to work. I pinch it. I'm ready for my second half. I drape the thread around the heel of my hand. I come under the ring thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread, knuckle to fingertip. There's no tension on the ring thread. The white ring thread is carrying the red knot. That has to change. The knot is twisting, twisting. I'm moving my left hand away a little bit. Twisting, twisting. There it goes. I slide it into place, and I know I've completed one entire knot because I've got the two legs, the bar across the top. Now, if I pull the red shuttle thread, I pinch my work, I pull it, the ring gets smaller. I pull it here at the base, the ring gets larger. This gives you more work room. That's how you know you've done it correctly. When you can pinch your work lightly, pull the shuttle thread, and it moves. Anything else? And now we're going to do a picot. I do the first half, and instead of sliding it completely into position, I pause here and leave a gap. Pinch that. Now I'm ready for my second half. Under the ring thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread, knuckle to fingertip. The knot twists. There's my two legs, the bar across the top. There's a gap. I slide that into place. There's my picot. This is a decorative and a joining element. Now let's pause, and I'll make some more loops and we'll close the ring. Alright, I finished the first ring. I've started on the second ring. I've got 5 stitches on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm ready to use my picot as a joining element. Now I have to use a crochet hook with this style of tatting shuttle because it doesn't have the pick on the end like many of the shuttles do. So I get my crochet hook here. I lay the last picot of the previous ring over my ring thread. I pinch this together, put the crochet hook through the picot, stretch it out a little bit, pull the ring thread straight up. Notice how that bunches my fingers together. I pull it straight up, and I have to set it down and let it go. Notice how that's trying to twist. Do not put your shuttle through here if this is twisted. Untwist it. Put my shuttle through this loop drawn up by the crochet hook. And now I've got the shuttle thread through this big loop. Now my ring has shrunken considerably, so I start putting my fingers back in the ring and extending the ring. This gives me room to work. Notice how the loop of thread around the shuttle thread is shrinking. I want it to shrink somewhat, but not completely. I want it to leave a slight U shape like this so the shuttle thread can move. So that's about as snug as you want it, because if you pop it through to the wrong side, even if you formed all your previous stitches correctly, this has essentially locked this down. It's not going to move as easily. So always make sure this hangs over here like a U shape. From this point on, just continue to make knots. Do not count the joining as a stitch unless the directions tell you to. So now you're ready again to just make your knots the way you usually do. I'll pick this out and show it to you again. I should not worry about that since it's on a CD. Alright, I've got the ring thread around my hand. I've got the last picot of the previous ring laying over the ring thread. Put the crochet hook through the picot. I pick up the ring thread. I pick it straight up. Push the shuttle through the loop. The loop's too big. My ring is practically non-existent. I start putting my fingers back in the ring and extending the ring, and I make that loop small. Now I check and make sure everything moves. Pinch the work lightly, pull the base of the thread there, pull your shuttle thread, everything moves, you're ready to continue. First half, second half. Now we're going to pause again, and then I'll show you how to do reverse work. Alright, up till now we've been working with our work in this direction. Now we're going to do reverse work or chains. Basically, when they say reverse work, the directions literally mean turn your work upside down. You've got your shuttle thread coming off to the right, and then what's either usually described as your ball thread coming off here to the left. It's called your ball thread because it's usually still attached to the ball of thread you wound your shuttle from. The knot is the same, but the hands are a little different. If you carry your thread left-handed in knitting, or if you crochet, you'll be familiar with this. Basically, come up with any system that feels comfortable for you. Wrap your thread around your hand. This is your work surface. This is the same stitch again as in rings. First half, pretend it's draped around your knuckles. Come under this thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread. The white thread is carrying the red knot. That has to change position, and it's going to change color as well. There's no tension on that left thread, on the thread around my hand. Pop, there it goes. The shuttle thread is now carrying the knot, slides into position, there it is. Now you pinch it lightly, you're ready for your second half. Remember, you pretend the thread is draped around the heel of your hand. You come under this thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread. The white thread, the white ball thread is carrying the knot. The red shuttle thread has to carry the knot, and it's going to change color as well. There's no tension on the ball thread. It's twisting, it's twisting, twisting, and there it goes. This is the same stitch we formed with the rings. I've got the two legs far across the top. I can slide this. That's how you know it's done correctly, if you can manipulate the knots along the shuttle thread and it moves. If you're manipulating this thread and the knots move on this thread, you haven't made it flip and it won't work. From here on out, it's just repetition. First half, there it goes. Second half. One more and then we'll stop. First half. The knot's twisting, twisting, and there it goes. Slides into position. Now we're ready for the second half. I know I have not completed a knot because I don't have the bar across the top. So I have not completed a stitch if I don't have a bar across the top. Under the ball thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread, knuckle to fingertip. I want the shuttle thread to carry the knot. The knot's twisting, twisting, pop, there it goes. Once you can make that knot flip every half of every stitch, every time, you'll know how to tap. This move, push it along here and gather it back up. So as long as your shuttle thread is carrying every half of every knot, you know how to tap. Stop. We're back now, and I've been finishing up the ring. I have 5 stitches and a picot, and this is how you count. You count the bars across the top. That indicates completed stitches. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a picot. I put my picots between the stitches. Different books have different systems. Pick one you like and stick with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, picot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, picot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need one more stitch on here. Then I'm ready to close the ring. Then you'll see if you have made all of your knots flip correctly. My ring is too big for my hand. I pinch it lightly. I pull the shuttle thread. The ring starts to close a little bit. So now I'm ready to make one last stitch and then close my ring. First half again, the thread goes around my hand, around my knuckles. Then I come under the ring thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread, fingertip to knuckle. The white ring thread is carrying the red shuttle thread. This has to change position. There's no tension on the ring thread. I'm pulling the shuttle to the right. So it's twisting, there it goes. I extend my pinky, that takes out the slack, I slide it into place. Second half, I pretend like it's draped around the heel of my hand, under the ring thread, through the loop formed by the shuttle thread, knuckle to fingertip. The white ring thread is carrying the red shuttle thread. This has to change position. And there it goes. The pinky extends and takes up the slack. I slide it into place. I count and make sure I have the correct number of stitches before I close the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My ring is now completed. Always count and make sure you have all the stitches the pattern calls for before you close the ring. And here's how you know if you have done everything correctly. I pinch the ring lightly and I pull the shuttle thread. I'm pulling, I'm pulling, I'm pulling, pulling. It's gathering up. The ring's getting smaller. I pull it and pull it until the stitches meet. I adjust it a little bit, and there it is. You will know you have done this correctly if you pull the shuttle thread and the ring closes. If you pull your discard thread and your ring closes, your knots have not flipped. The shuttle thread did not carry the knot. You are doing it absolutely, perfectly backwards. The shuttle thread always has to carry the knot. Therefore, when you pull the ring thread, or the shuttle thread, this closes your ring. Now, we're going to pause and I'll show you how to use the picot as a joining element.